If Pyros and Crips all got along, they probably got me down by the end of the song. Seem like the whole city go against me. Every time I'm in the street, I hear drop, 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 drop.
Hey, look, man, I'm not a bitch. You know what I mean? If I lost fair and square. I was gonna make a video if I lost, and I'm gonna make a video now. I was gonna make a video if we won, and I'm gonna make a video now that we just lost. Listen, Suns. I'm talking to the Phoenix Suns management right now directly. This is what happens when you don't listen to me. You know what I mean? Because I might not just tune in and watch, the regular season, all 82 games and all that shit. But if there's anything I know about the NBA, it's about free agency and it's about trades. You know what I mean? So when I tell you to fucking trade DeAndre Ayton for Karl-Anthony Towns because DeAndre Ayton can't create a shot to save his fucking life unless he's getting carried by CP3, you should probably listen to me, alright? So, that's first off. Second off, I'll be honest, I was, when the first half, was going by, I was just driving around, I didn't even watch the first half, so I don't even know what the fuck happened. But then, I go out, you know what I mean? I drive around for 20 minutes, I come back, and all of a sudden, the Suns are down by by fucking 20, 30 points already. In the first half, I'm just like, what the hell is going on? I'm just like, what the hell is going on? The fuck is wrong with this shit? Now, here's the thing. If you're looking at the title of this video, here's the thing. If the Suns were to have lost, in a very close, tight-knit game, I probably wouldn't be going as hard on them as I am right now. But I wouldn't even be mad if they lost because Luka hit a game winner in their face, or if they lost by less than 10 points. I'm gonna be honest. I would be like, hey, it is what it is. Luka's a great player, but our asses just lost by 33 fucking points, bro. And you know what I don't understand about this shit? This is the same team that we won by 30. This is the same team we beat by 30 points. We just lost by 30 points to the team that we just beat by 30, less than half a week ago. So, okay. First off, I really don't understand why Devin Booker was even doing it. For example, when he was swiping the ball out of Luka's hand a couple games ago, when they were already winning by 20 or 30, that was kind of unnecessary. I'm not gonna lie, that was definitely kind of unnecessary. But another thing is I've always low-key fucked with Luka, bro. I remember when the Mavericks were going against the Clippers, both times I was rooting for the Mavericks to win, because all these fucking fake-ass Clippers fans, just be talking shit, bro. Just be talking the most. And I'm not talking about the real Clippers fans. The real Clippers fans are OGs. I fuck with those dudes. Those dudes are the fucking best. I love those motherfuckers. I'm talking about these fake-ass Clippers fans. The ones who only fucking started showing up, once Kawhi Leonard and Paul George signed. I'm talking about those motherfuckers. Because the ones that existed back in the Lob City days, those are some OGs, bro. Those are some motherfuckers that have been through hard times, and and they just want to see that team win. I respect those motherfuckers. You know what I mean? I used to be one of those motherfuckers. I respect, my fellow Lob City brethren, my fellow Eric Gordon, Al Farouk Aminu, Ryan Gomes brethren. I respect those guys. Those guys are the fucking best. Billy Crystal, all those guys are OGs. Shout out to them. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Like I said, I've always fucked with Luka. The one thing I had a problem with, the entire series, because the one thing I had a problem with was when he was just everyone talking when they up. Everyone talking when they up. They're not going to be talking when they're down. You know what I mean? It's the only reason I was mad at that is because this dude acts like he's never trash talked before. Like, this dude trash talks like 24-7, and he gets mad when other people trash talk. That was the one thing I was like a little skeptical about with Luka. But at the same time, this shouldn't have even been a fucking competition, bro. Like, we were not taking this team seriously from day fucking one. This is like a repeat of that Clippers-Nuggets series. Like, the first 2 games, we just blew them out of the fucking water. And then, Dorian Finney-Smith decides to be fucking Klay Thompson for Game 3. I don't know, either Game 3 or Game 4. One of the games, Dorian Finney-Smith decided to be Klay Thompson. Another one of the games, Chris Paul decides to foul out with like 10 minutes left to go. Then we go to Game 5. Game 5, you know, they do what they're supposed to. And then what? Then what happens right after Game 5? You know what I mean? For some fucking reason, they can't just close it out in Dallas. like they can't win one. All they had to do was win one game in Dallas, and the series is over. They're gonna go home. They would have a couple days of rest, you know, since the Warriors, you know what I mean, play a day after the, you know, so they'd have a couple days of rest, you know, all that shit. But now guess what? They're, you know what I mean, and then they proceed. Like I said, I didn't even watch most of the first half, so I can't really comment on what happened before then. And then they were down by as much as like fucking, I think it was like 47 at one point. Like, and here's the thing, I'm not gonna hop off this team. You know, I still support this team because I'm not like some of these other bandwagon bitches who's just gonna like fucking, you know, hop off just because the team fucking lost. Like, did y'all see those fake ass Suns fans just fucking leave? Like, the fourth quarter just started. Like, literally, this is the beginning of the fourth quarter. Like, this is before the fourth quarter started. You know what, when it says, like, when the clock stops at, like, 12? You know, like, 12 minutes. Like, the fourth quarter literally just started, and you saw fans already heading towards the fucking exits. Like, okay, here's the thing. Here, I understand if you want to head, like, if your team is losing, and you want to beat the traffic and all that shit, but at least wait till, like, the 5-minute mark. You know what I mean? At least wait till the 5-minute mark. You know what I mean? When the Suns start bringing in their bench players, and then the Mavericks start bringing in their bench players. At least wait till then, man. You know what I mean? Just, you paid this much money to watch a fucking playoff game. At least fucking stick there till, you know what I mean? Till the very end. Like, come on. Like, if I was a fan and I just paid like $100 to watch this fucking game, I don't care if we're losing by fucking 60. I'm watching that entire fucking game. So those motherfuckers kind of pissed me off a little bit. But overall, the Suns, I don't know, man. Like, I really don't know what to say with this team. Because Monty Williams, he's a good-ass head coach. There's a reason he won, you know, Coach of the Year. You know, he's a good-ass coach. But at the same time, what's with all these fuck-ups, man? You know what I mean? Last year, we blew a 2-0 lead. This year, we blew another 2-0 lead. Like, he's a good-ass coach, but what's with all these fuck-ups, man? You know what I mean? Now, Chris Paul has 3 years left on his contract. He has 3 years left on his contract before he most likely retires, because I think this is probably going to be his last contract in the NBA. I don't think he's going to sign like a 1-year deal. I don't think he's going to do any of that shit. I'm pretty sure the second that contract runs out, he's probably going to retire, because at that point, he's going to be 40. And he's already starting to get injuries every now and then. You know what I mean? It's not as frequent as it was during his Clippers days, but he's starting to get injuries, you know, every now and then. So I would project by the time that what, like 2025 is like when his contract is, I would project by that time he would be retired. So the Suns got 3 years to get back on this ship. But like I said, originally I was gonna leave it alone. I was gonna be like, okay, I'm disappointed our season ended. And, you know, originally I was gonna be like, okay, I'm disappointed as a Suns fan that our season ended and that Luka won by and Luka is like a great player. I would have said all that shit. I would have been like disappointed as a Suns fan. You know what I mean? Hopefully we get better. Luka's a great player. I would have said all that shit had this been a close game. Had this been like a close down to the wire game, that's what I would have said. But we literally just lost by 33 fucking points. You know what I mean? If this was a close game, like I said, if it was like within 10 points, if this was like a down to the wire game, and Luka hit a game winner, or we lost by like 7 points or some shit, I wouldn't be mad. I would be like, okay, I'm still not really mad, but I do believe it is in my best interest to go in on this team, because, you know what I mean? For some reason, this team can't catch a break, but at the same time, it's like, sometimes it feels like they don't even know what they're doing. And if you need any proof, this team literally has not been shit ever since Steve Nash left. And if you want me to fucking go through every fucking year, like, I'm literally just gonna go through every fucking year just to prove my point. 2013. In 2013, the Suns drafted Alex Len over CJ McCollum. You know, they drafted him over CJ. They drafted him over Rudy Gobert. I would say Giannis, but Giannis is kind of a project. You know what I mean? Even fucking Steven Adams. Even Steven Adams would have been a pick. At least this motherfucker is like, you know, like a god, and, you know, getting a lot of boards on the Grizzlies. They could have fucking drafted Steven Adams, and that would have been a better pick than fucking Alex Len. Like, so first they decided to draft Alex Len, you know what I mean, over all those guys I just mentioned, and then 2014 they draft TJ Warren. They draft TJ Warren over Clint Capella, over Bogdanovich, who, by the way, they traded away in that same fucking draft class. You know what I mean? Over Nikola Jokic. Over Jordan Clarkson. You know what I mean? So then that's the 2014 draft class. That's, you know what I mean? They draft TJ Warren out of, you know what I mean, over those players. And then now let's get to the 2016 draft class. Couple things. They started out with a couple first round picks, and then they traded up, you know, to number 4 to select who? Dragon Bender. You know who was still on the board? Buddy Hield, Jamal Murray, Domantas fucking Sabonis, even Taurean Prince. I'll give you Taurean Prince. That motherfucker was averaging like 20 points per game on the Hawks. You know what I mean? Actually, no. I'll get into that later. So all those motherfuckers, and guess what they could have done if they still kept those 2 first round picks. They could have drafted Malik Beasley. They could have drafted Karis LeVert, and they could have drafted DeJounte Murray, or they could have drafted Malcolm Brogdon. You know, it's like, I don't know. And then if you think it gets worse, no, we're just getting started, baby. We're just getting started. You know what I mean? And then they decide to draft Josh Jackson over De'Aaron Fox, over even Jonathan Isaac, bro. At least Jonathan Isaac, when he's healthy, that man's a fucking god. You know what I mean? Over Jonathan Isaac, over Lauri Markkanen, which is one of the best stretch forwards in the league. You know what I mean? Over Malik Monk, who's a god on the fucking Hornets. I'm not gonna say over Donovan Mitchell, because no one really thought Donovan Mitchell was gonna do anything. Even fucking Bam, bro. I would have been fine with Bam too, because Bam can play. Even if you want to say, oh, we have Ayton, like, Bam is literally like a natural power forward being forced to play center. So even fucking Bam, I would have been fine with, bro. And Jared Allen. OG Anunoby, John Collins, like even Kyle Kuzma. I would have chosen over fucking De'Aaron Fox over Josh Jackson. And I'm talking about Suns Josh Jackson, because I know Josh Jackson is doing a little bit better on the Pistons. I'm talking about Suns Josh Jackson. Josh Hart. Josh Hart. You know what I mean? Josh Hart. Oh, well, okay. Actually, no. Once you get past that, then it's just a bunch of. Yeah, fuck. Dylan Brooks, bro. Oh yeah. Speaking of Dylan Brooks, remember when the Suns almost traded for Dylan Brooks, but then the Grizzlies realized like it was the wrong D Brooks, so then they just hung up the phone. That was funny, wasn't it? And then let's go to the 2018 draft. Let's go to the 2018 draft class. They drafted DeAndre Ayton over Trae Young. Over Jaren Jackson, who I think is a more complete player. Over Wendell Carter, who I also think is a more complete player. Over Colin Sexton, who could actually create his own fucking shot. Over Miles Bridges, who's like a 20-point per game scorer. Over MPJ. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and you want to know the real kicker? You want to know another guy they drafted him over? Over the guy who just won by 33. Okay, over the guy who just won by 33 fucking points. Luka Doncic. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Suns could have had Luka too. And you know what would happen if the Suns had Luka? Obviously, they wouldn't have gotten blown out by the Mavericks by 30, because I don't know who the hell the Mavericks were going to draft, but it clearly was not Trae Young. If they were willing to trade that pick, clearly it was not for Trae Young. So yeah. So yeah, and then one last kicker, just to end this off on like, in a pleasant manner, if you feel me. You know that top 10 pick. And remember how in 2020, even after they went on that 8-0 run in the bubble, they still managed to get a top 10 pick over that. You know who they used that top 10 pick on? Jalen Smith. And you know who they could have had instead of Jalen Smith? Isaiah Stewart, Cole Anthony, Sadiq Bey, Precious Achua, Desmond Bain. Okay, here's the thing. I'll give Jalen Smith some credit, just because when everyone was out and this dude actually got some real playing time, he actually performed fairly well. Like when Ayton was out, McGee was out, when all these guys were out, and he actually got playing time, he actually performed fairly well. I thought, okay, in case DeAndre Ayton leaves, we got ourselves the center of the future. But you want to know what they did with him? You want to know what they did with him? Like, here's the thing. I'm shitting on him getting drafted, all those players, but I still do respect him as a player, and I think he's a good player. But you know what they did with him? They traded him away, even though they know they would have to pay Ayton the max if they trade him away. But they traded him away for Torrey fucking Craig, who I don't even think has played at all the entire playoffs, unless the Suns are down by like 40. So they traded this dude away, who was a top 10 pick, who I don't think is as good as the other guys I've mentioned, but would have still been a decent replacement for Ayton, for Torrey Craig, who I don't even think suited up at all unless it was a blowout. You know what I mean? So the Suns cannot get anything right, bro. The two things they've gotten right. The two things they've gotten right was the Chris Paul trade and the Devin Booker thing. Everything else was like meh. Mikal Bridges, he's a beast, but it's not like unless Mikal Bridges turns into Kawhi Leonard, I'm not jumping for joy. Cam Johnson is a beast, but unless he turns into like Klay Thompson, I'm not jumping for joy. You know what I mean? So, at the end of all this, what the fuck did we really accomplish, bro? What did we really accomplish? You know, because we got to the NBA Finals last year, so I thought, hey, you know what? Let's go back this year, even if we have to face the Bucks again. We got all these big men, you know what I mean? We could just run it back this year. But you know what? Guess what? Us and the Bucks, we're both sitting at a couch on the home. We're both sitting at home on the couch right now. So yeah. Like I said, I'm not hopping off this bound. I'm not hopping off this team. I am not abandoning ship. You know, I am going down with the ship right now. All right. Actually, no. Yeah. Did I say Halliburton? Yeah. I mean, they drafted they also drafted him over Tyrese Halliburton, who, in case Chris Paul starts to decline, you know what I mean, you can see Halliburton start to take up. But, they drafted, if I didn't mention Halliburton, they drafted Jalen Smith over Halliburton. But now what are we going to do, bro? What the fuck are we going to do? What? Okay, here's the thing. All these guys, it was cute and all when some of these guys were still on their rookie contracts. This dude Ayton is going to want a max contract. And y'all still have not paid him yet. Y'all still have not paid this dude yet. You know what I mean? And then if he has, and we all know this cheap ass owner Robert Sarver doesn't want to pay anybody. This motherfucker let Joe Johnson, who was a 20 point per game scorer for a decade, walk in free agency for fucking nothing after they just went to the conference finals in their first year with Steve Nash. Let that motherfucker walk for nothing. Y'all really think he's not gonna let DeAndre Ayton walk for nothing? I would say that he's gonna sign and trade DeAndre Ayton to the highest bidder. But we all know this cheap ass motherfucker doesn't want to pay anything. So what are we gonna do? Because here's the thing. I said trade Ayton for Cat, right? But all this depends on does Cat really even want to fucking go to this team? Because at least with the Timberwolves, he got Anthony Edwards, he got D'Angelo Russell. Now the one thing I could see being the reason that he leaves the Timberwolves is because I heard there's some rumors that the Timberwolves might want to trade away D'Angelo Russell, and Karl Anthony Towns has already stated that he has he's had some problems with the Timberwolves, and was thinking about requesting a trade earlier, I think maybe a year or two back, around the time of the bubble, or maybe even last year, Karl Anthony Towns was thinking about requesting a trade, and that was with D'Angelo Russell coming there. So you really think that now that y'all are gonna trade away D'Angelo Russell, he's not gonna do that shit? Because if I'm the Timberwolves, after I just witnessed that fucking playoff series, I'm building around Anthony Edwards, bro. If I am the Minnesota Timberwolves, I'm saying fuck Karl Anthony Towns, fuck D'Angelo Russell. I am building around Anthony Edwards. I'm getting all the pieces to make this guy the number one. Because the problem with the current Timberwolves roster is you got two guys who are fighting to be number one instead of having a clear number one and two. Y'all ain't gonna win that way. Even in 2011, the Miami Heat had two Hall of Fame players in LeBron James, who is considered the greatest small forward of all time, and Dwayne Wade, who's a top 3 shooting guard of all time, and they still didn't win a championship. Because guess what? There wasn't a clear understanding of who was number one and number two. And y'all got a Walmart D Wade in Anthony Edwards, and y'all got a Walmart, I don't even know what to say for Cat, like a Walmart Dirk. I don't fucking know. In Karl Anthony Towns, y'all think that's gonna work? So, we need Towns to hop on the Suns because, even though it looks like I just shitted on Cat, what I'm saying is Cat is not a true alpha number one. But guess what? If he goes on to the Suns, he's gonna have Devin Booker. He's gonna have Chris Paul. Because Chris Paul runs that ship. You know what I mean? A lot of people say Devin Booker is not a real superstar, and I believe that's true. But you know who I also believe is still a real superstar? Chris Paul. Y'all can talk whatever the fuck you want about Chris Paul. That motherfucker when he really needs to play, he fucking plays. Now, obviously, this is not a good representation, but let's look back on the previous round. When this motherfucker needed to, guess what he just dropped? 28 and 14. You know what else he dropped? 33 on 14 out of 14 shooting. So this motherfucker still got that shit in the bag and will continue to get that shit in the bag. So, but, I mean, at the same time, he's 37 fucking years old. He's 37 years old, and, you know, obviously, he's gonna look like complete fucking trash in a few of these games. You know, it just comes with the territory. Like, Michael Jordan was in a wheelchair when he was 37. Oh, yeah, Michael Jordan was in a wheelchair when he was 37. James Harden is in a wheelchair at 32. And Russell Westbrook is in a wheelchair at 32. You know what I mean? So the fact that Chris Paul is doing this type of shit, like these 28 and 14, these 33 points and on 14 and 14 shooting, is a testament to his greatness. It is not a testament to him being trash, that he has a couple occasional bad games. You know whose job it is to carry him when he has those bad games? Devin Booker, the number 1 pick DeAndre Ayton. Did they do that? No, he had a couple bad games, and guess what? They fucking failed. Now they let him take the day off in game 5, and you know, and I respect them for that. But guess what happened the next 2 games? They couldn't even make them close, bro. If they were to lose if they lost like these 2 games, you know what I mean? If these 2 games were close, I'd say so. They got blown the fuck out by a record margin in both these goddamn games. So I would say that they need to. I would say that they would need to make some big changes, but here is the thing. Here is the reality that you gotta look at. If you are the Suns, you're not gonna have many more bites at the apple, because some of these teams, like the Grizzlies, you know, the Rockets are gonna get a lot of picks. You know, all these teams from the Eastern Conference are gonna get better. All that shit. You know what I mean? You are not gonna have many more bites of the apple. So if you are the Phoenix Suns, there are 2 guys. 2 guys. Number 1, number 2, that are untouchable. And that is Chris Paul, because he makes the ship run, and Devin Booker. Everyone else can go. I can maybe Mikal Bridges. If we can't, like, cause it's gonna be really, unless we get fucking Kawhi Leonard, it's gonna be really hard to replace Mikal Bridges. So 3 guys. I'll give you that. 3 guys. There are 3 guys on this team that are absolutely untouchable. No matter what the fuck happens, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges. Anyone else can go. Jay Crowder's fucking trash. This dude averages 1 point per. Like I think there was a game where he literally had a stat line of like 33 minutes, 1 point, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Like, this dude's fucking trash, bro. This dude needs to get cut. DeAndre Ayton is like the softest 7-1 guy I've seen in my fucking life. You know what I mean? And then Cam Johnson would be a starter, but for some reason he can't start over Jay fucking Crowder, because the Suns are that unconfident about his defense. So please get your defense up, Cam. You know, if you get your defense up, we can finally bench this bum-ass dude, Jay Crowder. You know what I mean? Because you're a good-ass shooter. You perform fairly well when you actually get playing time. But get your defense up, buddy. If you get your defense up, we can finally bench bum-ass Jay Crowder. All right? So major changes need to come this offseason, man. I don't care if y'all got to trade 5 first-round picks. Get this bum-ass 7-foot waste of space DeAndre Ayton off this fucking team, and get my man Karl Anthony Towns on this team so that we can get this fucking ring. All right? Can we do this? Can we please do this? Because I'm tired of hearing these cocky-ass Warriors fans, who are probably going to lose to the Celtics in 5, by the way. I'm tired of hearing these cocky-ass Warriors fans talk shit. You know what I mean? I'm tired of hearing all these NBA fans hate on CP3, even though this man is 37 years old, dropping 28 and 14, dropping 33 on 14 and 14 shooting. You know, it's so much of a crime for him to have a few bad games. even though he's 37 years old, even though James Harden is 32 and is already on a fucking wheelchair. So it's so much of a crime for Chris Paul at 37 to have these bad games. You know what I mean? So, can we just cut this out? Can we just cut this out? We got 3 players that are untouchable. Everyone else can fucking go. I don't care. I don't care. As long as we keep these 3 players, everyone else can go. We need to blow this roster up. Get us a better power forward. Get us a better center. We gotta reconstruct this shit from the bottom, from the top up. Yeah, 3 players: CB3, Bridges, Booker. Stay. Let them stay. Everyone else can fucking go. All right. And yeah, with that being said, I'm out. Peace.